drops, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, what's up? My name is Julia. I post makeup, fashion, and lifestyle videos, and I really hope you guys stick around because I'm doing a giveaway very soon, which is so exciting. So you guys should definitely just click that subscribe button. It's for free. So in today's video, I'm filming a story time video, and this is literally going to be like a nightmare story literally about this place that I worked, and it was literally the worst company I have ever worked for. Literally like insane. You would never imagine this stuff would happen, and I've been actually waiting a pretty long time to film this video because I've been a little nervous, not gonna lie. I'm obviously not gonna say where this was, but I am gonna say it's basically like a convenience type, sandwich type place. Do you feel me? I don't know. Kind of like a Wawa. Let's just say that. It's not Wawa. I worked at this place for about 2 years, and let's just say that my first year, it was okay. You know, it was like, it was okay. I was making really good money, and keep in mind, I was in high school at this time. I was like 16. So at this time, I was still going to high school, still a high school student, and I was working as well. So first thing is they scheduled me probably about like 38 hours a week, sometimes more, and I was going to high school. So that was like rough. That was like, you know, whatever. But it was like I was one of the only kids that work there. So I feel like they kind of took advantage of it, and they definitely like, you're just gonna have to listen to the whole story. So that basically happened, and I did like my job. I didn't find anything wrong with it. I was like, ooh, like the money's coming in. Like I literally had money for like everything. My friends were like, oh, how do you have money for this? And it's like, I worked so hard to like get that money while I was going to school and everything. So I was like, whatever, you know, I'm making bank. Like I'm not gonna say anything, whatever. I had some coworkers, not all, but I did have some coworkers that were just like not good. I worked second shift, obviously, because I was going to school. So obviously I would go to school, leave school, come to work. People that I worked with were just older. First of all, they were very understaffed for the shift that I was on, very understaffed. And I was originally supposed to work from 3 to 9. That was like what I was supposed to work. But now I never left at 9:30, sorry, not 9, 9:30. I literally don't think I've ever left at 9:30 working there. I would always leave at like 11 o'clock, 10:30, like really super duper late, which okay, at first like didn't bother me because I was like, oh, you know what, like we're behind, blah, 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 like it's fine. But there was this one lady that I worked with, and she was literally so, like, this lady was literally harassed me, and I would never use that word lightly, and this is definitely what this company did. It's like, they were literal bullies, and the whole thing is that this lady, it all started out with this lady, every day I would come into work, I don't know if because she was older and I was younger, she felt like she could boss me around, or like she knew more or what, but she was literally so degrading to me. She made me feel very stupid. She made me feel like I didn't know anything what I was doing. And honestly, like I'm not trying to be whatever, but I was honestly one of the best people that worked there, and I was one of the newest. So I worked very hard. That's another thing, is I worked really hard, like real hard, girl. Like I worked hard. So I was basically in charge of everything in the back. So I was in charge of, like, for instance, we did coffee, sandwiches, helping customers, ringing, all of that jazz. So I was basically, and we prepped like all the food for the next day. We would bake bread, we would do all this stuff. And I literally was like doing so much, and we also have to like slice like deli meat for sandwiches, I know. And I was too young, so I couldn't do it. So this lady would literally sit there all night, and she would literally be slicing by the time I left. So she would start way before me in the day, before I even got there from school, and she'd still be slicing at like 11 o'clock. So first of all, that like I worked way longer than I should have, okay? Sometimes I didn't take breaks, which is illegal. Just saying, I was a minor, I was not over the age, and I would not take breaks sometimes, which again, I just like wrote it off. I was like, whatever, I don't care. I'm making money, like whatever. I'm just telling you guys because they did so many things that were like so wrong, like so wrong. I'm not even gonna explain everything that happened. Just know that there's a lot of details in between what happened and all that stuff. So a lot of the employees, I guess, I had a lot of friends that worked there. There was a lot of younger people that started working there after like my first year. After my first year working for this company, I, you know, just sucked it up. There were things, of course, that were like wrong and just like not right, but it was like cool. I was like, whatever, you know what, I'm chilling, whatever, I'm making a lot of money. But it got to a point that the employees, literally the girl employees, not boys, it was girls, would literally ask me about like my sex life and would literally like imply things and just say things you don't say. And yes, like I would joke around with people, but people just said things that you just don't say. Like, these are things that you don't say. You just don't do this. I felt really uncomfortable and I definitely did not know how to handle the situation. I never reported anything. I never did anything because I was just like, at the time I was so uncomfortable that I just like made jokes and I just like pushed it away and just tried to like not think about it. So the boyfriend at the time, like, people would ask me about him, like just say inappropriate things, just like they knew my mom and everything because my mom actually had worked there for like a little bit, and they would just like say things about like, they would say things about my mom and just like make comments that were just like uncalled for and just weird and like just things you don't say. I would hang out with my friends. We would go after work, go to like Applebee's or something, hang out, and there was this one guy, okay, there was this one guy, and he's actually my boyfriend now, okay? So he's my boyfriend now, but at the time, me and him were just friends. We worked together. We literally never even thought we were gonna date, like, ever. But we literally were just friends for a long time. We would hang out with our other friends, go to dinner, do this type of thing, and we would take pictures because, like, why? Like, what does it matter? Like, why do I have to hide having friends? So they were put on Facebook, and basically the manager of this store was the complete worst. She, like, people made assumptions, people said things. I don't know if it was because the people that made these assumptions were not invited or what the case was, but they started making really weird assumptions, saying things and spreading rumors. And keep in mind, these people were like in their late 20s, 30s, even 40s. Like I was literally like I was like 17 years old at that point. Like, what is your business with a 17-year-old girl? Like, whatever. She basically took like us aside and basically said, like, and to my mom too. My mom was like a manager type or like an assistant manager. Oh, like, you can't do this. Like, you can't be taking people out to eat. Like, why? Like, when I'm at work, I act professionally. I do my job. I don't act like this. I don't like hang out with people. I do my job. But when I'm clocked out, I am not your responsibility anymore. I'm able to do what I want. You don't own me. You can't tell me what to do. So that was just like really frustrating when she told me. And then like rumors started like spreading, saying that me and Michael were dating and all this stuff. And first of all, we weren't dating at the time. We were hanging out. We were friends, like whatever. Like, we were literally friends. Really weird things like, oh, are you having sex with him? Like, are you banging him? Like, just making inappropriate jokes like, oh, like, there's hickeys on his neck, or there's like blah, 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 or like, are you kissing him, or are you and Michael hooking up? Like, just really weird things that just like are really uncomfortable, and like, you just don't say that to people you work with. It's like super weird, and like, you just don't do this, right? I don't know. Then I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I just felt really uncomfortable about it, and I like expressed it a few times, and I never like went to the boss and said it because I was like, you know what? The rumors, I don't care. It's cool. It's fine. Like, whatever. Basically, at one point, Michael and I did start liking each other. Now, we never started dating until like he left that store. So basically what happened was he was getting a promotion. He was leaving that store, going to a new store, and whatever. And we were just friends. So we knew that he was going to the new store. So we're like, you know what? We like each other. We don't act on it, but let's just like see where this goes, whatever. Then people made even more rumors, and it was fantastic, and people decided to go to the manager And basically, this is where it gets into the manager, and this is like the real, like, what the fuck are you doing part. It's like, excuse me? So we had team meetings all the time, like once a month we had team meetings. So before I really knew too much about this, like, we went to the meeting and people just kind of made implied things. They were basically implying like, oh, employees are not supposed to date employees, like whatever, blah 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 blah. I already knew that, and I didn't know it was directed towards me. So people were making rumors, saying stuff. And then in the next meeting that we had, basically she called me in the back. And again, you literally have no idea. The lady that I worked with in the back, who worked with me, made me feel so uncomfortable. I literally would come home crying. I'm not joking. I was a teenager going to school, working basically full time. She made my life miserable. If you were to ask my mom or anyone else in my life, they would tell you I literally came home crying every single night from this lady. She literally made me feel so dumb and so stupid and made me stay there even longer. Like, there would be times where something would not get done and she's just like super slow, and she would like call the manager, and the manager would be like, oh, well, you have to stay. And I'm like, well, I have homework and I have a test tomorrow. Like, I need to go. Like, it's not my fault. I did my work. I can't stay here anymore. I'm not a full-time employee. Like, they were super rude about it, and they're like, I don't care. Like, you have to stay. And the literal lady would be like, you can't leave until you do this. To work. And prior, Michael had texted me saying like, oh, by the way, you might get questioned today because I got questioned too. And I'm like, okay, about what? Like, whatever. So I go into work, and it's this other manager that has nothing to even do with the inside. Like, literally nothing to even do with me, nothing to even do with what I do. He's just there, and the store manager. They sit me down, and they basically interrogate me. Okay, I'm a 17-year-old girl. Technically, they're not allowed to do that. I'm literally not 18 years old. I'm 17. I'm underage, so you can't corner me. Oh, people have been coming to me with concerns saying that you're dating Michael. And just like, it's not your business. People are like, oh, they've seen you coming in with Michael like after work and like buying drinks and like blah, blah, blah. And I literally looked at them and I said, it's not your business who I'm friends with. I can come in with Michael after store hours. If I'm not clocked in, I can do whatever I want. It's not your business. It's not your problem. I'm not doing anything disrespectful. I'm doing my job, whatever. So literally it just had absolutely, it wasn't their business is what I'm saying. And they basically said, okay, well, now we can't have you and Michael scheduled on the same days. Even if you're here for like a minute or whatever. He's no longer allowed to come in the store when you're in the store. You're not allowed to be in the store together. You're not allowed to be seen in the store together. I looked at them and I was like, I'm going to do whatever I want. If I'm not clocked in, you cannot tell me who I can come in the store with and whatever. So basically, when I was working, they did not let him come in to do his job. Like, literally, we're stopping him from doing his job because I was there. Because we were friends. We weren't even dating. We were just hanging out. Like, it was insane. And we weren't, like, hanging all over each other. We weren't doing anything. So, at that point, he was supposed to move to the next store, okay? He was moving on. He was going to the other store. He had a promotion, whatever. So, now at this point, we're like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, who cares? They're not gonna, now that the cat's out of the bag and everyone implied that we were dating, we're just gonna date. So, we kept on the down low. We never told anyone we were dating. Whatever the case may have been, we just were dating and would hang out after work. He would come pick me up from work and wait in the car. But he noticed that I was getting out at like 11:30 sometimes, just really late, not 9:30. He would come in and he would just be like, she's supposed to leave. And like, he's a manager, like a type of manager, a shift lead. So he can say that. Like, what are they keeping me there for? He would come in and be like, oh, like, how much longer are you going to be? Like, whatever. Like, he's literally sitting in the parking lot waiting for me when I was supposed to be out. I'm telling them I have to leave. And the lady in the back made my life hell, was like, no, you can't leave. Just sweep. You need to do this. And would continue to literally use and abuse me and overuse and overstep her boundaries. It was just too much. And he would even say, like, okay, like, she needs to leave. Like, at this point, it got ridiculous. It was, like, too much. Like, we just did not care at that point. It was just every night. I never left on time. I was leaving super late every night, and I was literally so tired. And again, I had school, I had homework, I had tests to study for. Like, I told them that I went to school. Like, I feel like this manager's thing was just, like, store meetings. So next store meeting comes around. She basically calls me in the back alone, and she's looking at me. And this lady is, like, scary. Like, she's scary, okay? So she's like, I need to talk to you. She's like, it's come to my attention that you and Michael are dating. And I'm like, it's not anyone's business. He's literally going to a new store. Like, it's not anyone's business. Like, I've told you this. It doesn't interfere with our work. We don't show any affection during work. We don't even talk during work. We don't work the same shifts anymore. So she's like, I just want to let you know that this needs to end now. And if it doesn't, you really don't want me to have to talk to the manager at the other store, and this would really interfere with his promotion. And she literally sat there and threatened me and said that if we didn't call this off or we weren't careful, that she was literally going to tell the other manager at the other store, like, basically shit about him. And basically make him look bad and say he was unprofessional and take that away from him. You embarrass someone so much. Like, how do you sit there and, like, belittle and be so fucking rude? Like, okay. Like, cornered me and said all this shit to me about literally nothing. And the whole time when she said that to me, she's like, oh, you wouldn't want him to lose his promotion, would you? You wouldn't want him. And she kept just saying things like that, kept, like, taunting me, saying these things, just being so rude, just, like, making it so impossible. And, you know, she was just saying, like, oh, you basically have to choose. If you're with him, then he can't get his promotion. I'm like, first of all, he literally does not even work in this store. It's not your business what I do when I'm clocked out. It's not your business who I'm with. It's not your business at all. Like, literally at all. It's not your business. You know what? I'm just gonna put my 2 weeks in and I'm good. Like, don't threaten him. Leave him alone. I was literally crying because I was like, he needs his job more than I do. Like, I'm a student. He has bills. He's a grown man. Like, he needs his money. So I was like, you know what? I'm putting my 2 weeks in. And I never told him that. He knows now. But at the time, I basically gave my job up for him because that was just, like, ridiculous. But all in all, I just had enough. At that point, I was like, this company is insane. They've literally been harassing me. They've been bullying me. They've been making me feel like shit every single day that I come into work. Like, there were so many times where everything was just so bad. And they literally would never, even if you were sick, okay? Keep in mind, I basically worked in the back by food and drinks, right? You could literally be sick, super sick, throwing up, anything, and they literally would not let you call out. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've been really sick working in the back. And first of all, that's, like, a health violation. It's disgusting. So, yeah. The one time that I did call out, one time in 2 years, I was so sick. Like, so sick. I went to the doctor. I had a doctor's note and everything. And she's like, you need a doctor's note. I'm like, I have a doctor's note. I sent her a picture of it. I was like, I'll literally fax it to you, whatever. The doctor was like, you still need to find coverage. I'm like, I'm sick. The doctor told me I cannot work. So you need to figure it out. It's literally the worst ran company ever, but I don't work there anymore. I moved on. Thank God. I quit there. And honestly, the money was great, but I felt such a relief. Like, when I quit and I didn't have to go to work there anymore, I felt like a big, like, boulder was lifted off my shoulder. I'm not joking. It was literally that bad. It was traumatizing. I had such bad anxiety working there, and it was literally so bad. I felt so insecure and so, like, who's talking about me? Who's saying what? Like, are they talking about my life? Like, you know, are they making inferences? Like, they don't know me. Are they saying this? So it was literally such a bad place to work and such a bad mindset that I'm so happy that I don't work there. And like, I wish I could tell people not to work there. And you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked today's video, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys want to see next, and if you've ever worked any place where this has happened to you. And do not forget to turn your post notifications on, subscribe to my channel. We're gonna do a giveaway very soon, so you guys should definitely subscribe. And until next time, Rain fam,
just say goodnight and go.